industry in the U.S., and that has incredible economic benefits. For one, it supports 2.6 million jobs across the country. But unlike most industries, they've got a huge value add that they bring to their communities, and that's that event-related spending that we capture. So, think of the last time you went to an arts event. You may have went downtown, paid for parking, and had dinner, and saw the show, or went to the exhibit, and maybe had dessert afterward. What we found is the typical attendee spends $38.46 per person per event, not including the cost of admission. So, the arts are creating commerce for local merchants.
And what do you want people who are engaged with community affairs, elected officials and others, to draw from numbers like this?
What this economic impact study does, it helps government and community leaders understand that when they're investing in the arts, that they're getting more than cultural and quality of life benefits, which are vital and central to livable communities. They're also getting economic benefits. They're driving commerce to local businesses. They're supporting jobs. Nationally, they're generating $29.1 billion in government revenue, and they're strengthening tourism.
And we're still going out to stuff as we come out of COVID. On Broadway, theaters have run into some trouble filling seats, but nationally, do you see a downturn?
Well, it's less of a downturn, I think, than a slower response than expected post-pandemic. And, what we hear, and I think the data is still coming in, is that audiences are about 2/3 to 3/4 back. And so that's a real challenge for arts and culture organizations out there.
And as for definitions, arts and culture, it was a pretty big tent, the definition you would have used?
Yes, we do. And we focus on nonprofit arts and culture. And so those are going to be your theaters, your museums. Folks sometimes ask, well, why focus just on, that nonprofit sector? And that's because when government funds the arts, it's typically to the nonprofit arts and culture organizations. And it's an appropriate question to ask, what's the return on investment for the public?
Randy Cohen from Americans for the Arts with the latest Arts and Economic Prosperity Report they do about every 5 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
That was my Marketplace colleague, David Brancaccio. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer with the Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.